And good morning. It's 7:04 on this Tuesday, January 28th. It's time to head to Studio B for Coleman and Company.
Hello, everybody, and welcome. Here on a frosty January morning, we welcome you to our program, and of course, each Tuesday presented at this time by Vanderbilt Wilson County Hospital. We'll start out with our Health Minute this morning, and that is being prepared for a health emergency can make all the difference in a life-threatening situation. Before an emergency strikes, create a list of friends and family members who can drive you to the hospital if needed. Keep an up-to-date medication list stored on your phone or in your wallet so clinicians can accurately provide the right care and medicine. Symptoms that indicate a health emergency include severe chest pain, signs or symptoms of stroke, major trauma such as a head injury, severe pain of any kind, and abrupt changes in mental status. When it comes to your health, it's always best to play it safe. And for more information, please visit VanderbiltWilsonCountyHospital.com. Now, we want to remind you that the Vanderbilt Ingram Cancer Center in Lebanon has moved to a new location that provides better convenience, more space for patients, and continued excellence in care. Clinicians have begun seeing patients at 1616 West Main, Suite 101 in Lebanon, and a multidisciplinary team offers cancer patients medical oncology, surgical oncology consultations, infusion services, palliative care, and pain management. Now, you're invited to a ribbon cutting and open house Monday, February 3rd from 1 to 2 p.m. at the Vanderbilt Ingram Cancer Center of Lebanon, again located at 1616 West Main, Suite 101, right here in Lebanon. Please join them to celebrate the opening of the new cancer clinic with medical oncology, surgical oncology, and infusion services. All right, with that, it is time to introduce my guest this morning, who is on the phone, and the communications director for the city of Mount Juliet. That would be Mr. Justin Beasley. Good morning.
Coleman, good morning. Always a pleasure when we can talk about Mount Juliet in front of your large audience at Want FM, and we appreciate the time.
Well, always good to hear from you, and I did ask you on the phone here as I went to the phone to you before the on-the-air light came on this morning, and did you have a meeting last night? And you said yes, but you kind of qualified that a little bit, and it was evidently an extremely short one.
Yeah, our conversation this morning between me and you is already longer than that meeting last night. Outside of the commissioner comments where everybody talked a little bit about what was on their mind, outside of that, everything was on consent and approved, and we moved on. I mean, my seat wasn't even warm by then. So we're going to have to figure out something to talk about this morning, Coleman.
Well, what was on that?
You'll ask good questions, and I'll halfway provide good answers.
What was on that consent agenda?
Something was like a budget amendment, and something else was, just I think something to do with public works. But I mean, if I were to explain the reason of why it was on the agenda, I don't think it'd be any value to your listeners. I mean, nothing got to that level where they told me what was happening is just normal city business that had to go before the BOC. You know, it can be simple things. You know, sometimes, we've started a bunch of nonprofits, not nonprofits, but I guess 501(c)(3)s, and even if you may accept a check at the city, it's got to go through the BOC unless you do like a 501(c)(3). So it was all very, very minor stuff. Obviously, none of it was discussed if it was all put under consent and then approved by the Board of Commissioners last night. So, again, I promise you, nothing newsworthy.
All right. Well, what is happening now? This is we're at the end of January, and it's been we've had about a 6-inch snow. I guess you had something like that in Mount Juliet, about like we had here a couple of weeks ago now, I guess. And it's been maybe a little bit colder than sometimes in January. Has that caused any particular problems?
We had another snow, I think, last week, in the middle of the week, maybe last weekend. and our our salt and brine trucks and our plows got out there just in case. Our public works team is they're on call 24/7 as much as anybody else. They did a good job during that snow, and they did a good job during the first one that we had as well. Our commission has invested into more snow plows and brine equipment. Not only do we have more salt to be ready for week-long events, this last one wasn't. It was just a couple of days, and really Mother Nature was a big help as well. Just with how we didn't get a ton of snow that stuck to the streets unless it was that Friday night. So really we've got the resources, we got the manpower, and we got the experience. The same guys really are the ones out on the road. They're not learning on the job. They've done it in years past. I told the news when they came out, it's their Super Bowl. I mean, these guys are wired differently. They love this stuff. Some people don't like to be called out and like to enjoy the snow at their home with their kids and family. And don't get me wrong, they enjoy the snow with their kids and family too. But there's also this their expectancy. They're looking forward to treating the streets and being out there day and night and working 24/7. So we got a good crew out there. I would say right now, as we enter into February, we have not started looking at the budget yet as far as department heads. I imagine some have, just forecasting. But as far as, meeting with our finance director, Dana Heyer, and actually like putting pen to paper, that will happen momentarily. Kenny Martin, I know his mindset and always forward thinking. He's been looking at the budget for this year as soon as last year's passed. That's just the way he works and operates. And, we got more sales tax coming in, which is good for our city. We've got our property tax that's really low, which we think is a great asset to live in the city of Mount Juliet, making it very affordable, yet offering a great product as far as, paving roads and parks and police and EMS. Just one of 10 cities in the state that have our own EMS department. We're very proud of that. I think I've said it every time I'm on the radio with you. So we're just trying to juggle that act and also, understand the commissioners and the BOC's wants and needs with what they want the city to look like moving forward. But again, as I've always said, and I'll say it with as much enthusiasm today as I did when I was learning on the job when I took the job 3 years ago, City of Mount Juliet's in its prime, and we are looking forward to the future.
All right. When you have a good sales tax report, and they've been pretty good for quite some time, I guess there's not much thought even given to raising the income tax. Any need to? Is that in the back of anybody's mind that you know of, that possibility of I may have said that wrong. Did I say income tax? Property tax. You have a very, very low property tax in Mount Juliet. What are the chances of that increasing anytime in the foreseeable future?
Well, that's a foul word to say property tax increase, especially coming from the PIO that doesn't have any power to vote on that. So in my conversations, I'll tell you this much. I don't bring it up, but I do know it's a selling point for the city. I mean, we've had it. I think it went down from 16 to 11. I think the last time we had a chance to do something with it, we lowered it. And only Kenny Martin, the city manager of his stature that's lasted 14 years, most of them don't last, 2 consecutive different contracts. I'll say that we have continued to provide great services on a very affordable base, because you look at these developments that come in and these off-site improvements that come in, our BOC does a good job at, in those discussions, making sure that if you're going to bring an Amazon, you're going to pay for a road. If you're bringing, a Costco, you're going to do a sidewalk here and there. I mean, I'm not in those discussions, but I know that a lot is asked of them so we can save the taxpayer. And that's a good attitude to have. That's what's got us here. And we don't want to cost them any more than life is already expensive enough. So I'll say what we got right now is working. If the BOC wants to change that, that's up to their power, but I have not heard any of them say that publicly, so I sure won't out loud either.
Okay, it's about time for us to take a break, and if you joined us a little bit late, Justin Beasley is my guest, as he is a couple of times each month, talking about the city of Mount Juliet. Justin Beasley, the communications director for the city, and our program this morning brought to you by Vanderbilt Wilson County Hospital, reminding you once again of the ribbon cutting and open house this coming Monday, February 3rd from 1 to 2 p.m., the Vanderbilt Ingram Cancer Center, 1616 West Main Suite 101. A break here and more coming up on Coleman and Company, FM 98.9.
Let's see what's happening on the roadways. Thanks to our friends at Bates Ford. Get a battery installed in most vehicles, $199.95. Bates Ford, 1780 Franklin Road. Now at traffic, here's Chuck.
Good morning. It's busy out here as they work a couple of accidents. Give yourself a little bit of extra travel time. Coming through Hermitage, Donaldson right now. We had that accident there on 40 West near Donaldson Pike. It was there long enough to really jam it up. Coming through Hermitage into Donaldson as traffic continues to build on 24 up through the Antioch area. Coming in right now from Murfreesboro, Rutherford County. Prince's Hot Chicken has live entertainment every Wednesday night from 6 to 9. Check it out online, princeshotchicken.com. I'm Commander Chuck with your on-time traffic.
The refreshing cool after coming in from a hot summer day. The perfect temperature to kick off your shoes and relax with a good book. When the weather heats up, a new Rheem AC system will surround your family in total comfort. Are you feeling it? Rheem, the new degree of comfort.
Financing available through TVA's Energy Right program and your local power company. Call Randy's Heat and Air 237-3604.
Rheem, the new degree of comfort.
What is your passion? How can you use that passion to enrich your community? Hi, this is Melanie Minter, President and CEO of the Lebanon-Wilson County Chamber of Commerce. Your chamber is the resource for making connections to fulfill your passion. Whether education, nonprofit, agriculture, entertainment, or government relations, Wilson County offers a place for you to be involved. Your chamber connects businesses, individuals, and your passion to the community. We have an enthusiasm for excellence. Join us and catch the spirit. Call or visit our office at 149 Public Square in Lebanon.
Cumberland Phoenix Baseball is back in action and chasing another Mid-South Conference championship with a big 50-game schedule, including a whopping 35 home games. That gives Phoenix fans plenty of chances to catch a game or two at Woody Hunt Stadium, also known as the Six, where all U.S. military veterans get in free. You can hear every game on these radio stations or on GoCumberlandAthletics.com. The season starts on Saturday, February 1st and Sunday, February 2nd. We'll see you at the Six.
And we thank you for joining us here on a Tuesday morning. Again, our program presented by Vanderbilt Wilson County Hospital. And Justin Beasley's with us this morning. Justin, I was asking you during the break here, and I'll ask you right now. Just tell us about your family. You said your boys are doing fine and they're spoiled. You've got two of them, I believe.
Yes, sir. They're spoiled as heck. I took both of them to Opry Mills the other day. I'm not supposed to tell Kenny Martin that I spend my money outside of the city of Mount Juliet. So he's listening. Please don't quote me on this. But I took him to the Build-A-Bear workshop. Grant turned 1, so during his birthday month, he gets a $1 Build-A-Bear. We did that. That was fun. We also went to Cinnabon, spent $6 on a nice little cinnamon roll. Window shopped, walked around the place, and I didn't bring a stroller in, so I held Grant the whole time. And I was wondering on Sunday when I was watching the football games while my shoulder was hurting, I've started lifting weights a little bit. And I'm like, I don't think it was the weights. I think it was carrying him over my shoulder for an hour window shopping. So young and dumb dad won't do that again. He'll bring the stroller instead of trying to be the hero. But, yeah, they're 2.5 and 1. And the 1-year-old eats more than the 2.5-year-old now. And the 2.5-year-old has an attitude of that of a 31-year-old. So it's just it's never a dull day.
I want to throw out something here. I was thinking what we would talk about, and I haven't even mentioned this to you, so we can talk at length or we can talk a minute or two and move to something else. But just thinking about, we have the City of Lebanon, we have the City of Mount Juliet, and their form of government. Here in Lebanon, we have a city council, and right now there are 6 members on the council, and a mayor that is elected by the people. And that's one type, and there's a lot of cities that have that. But you have a board of aldermen, I believe that's what you call them, and then you have a city manager, and the city manager is pretty much given authority under these people, the board of commissioners. That's what I'm trying to say. The board of commissioners is in charge and hire a city manager who happens to be Kenny Martin, and it's two different ways of city government, and of course you're just pretty much familiar with that. I don't know how familiar you are with the other, but it seems to work pretty well in both places. Now, what do you say about all that?
Absolutely. We call ours Board of Commissioners, and when I'm trying to be super respectful, which is always, I call them boss man and boss woman, because I know who writes my checks. But we have our city is called the home rural type of government. So like you said, you have the 5 commissioners, one of them's the mayor. Each of them have an equal vote at the table. Now, of course, the mayor, he's the one that's asked to come to speak at American Legion and Boy Scouts and Rotary clubs and all that. He is more the face of the city, which, comes with the title. It's a different position that you run for. Instead of your district, you run for the at-large mayor's seat. Kenny Martin's job and sole responsibility is to answer to those 5. Now, the 5 have a duty, and most cities, the elected body, their primary responsibility, at least in smaller cities, is to pass the budget. What are we spending our money on? That is obviously a huge ordeal in the city of Mount Juliet, but there's also nights where there's a lot of stuff with development that comes up forward. They do a good job at making sure that we are making responsible, sound decisions that come through the Board of Commissioners on 2 readings. But they also do a good job at letting Kenny run the city from a city manager standpoint, where he's telling different department heads, hey, here's what I want to see here, here's what I want to see there. Now, a lot of it is Kenny's vision, yes, but sometimes he grasps the pulse of the BOC to say, hey, do you have any opinion here, there, or elsewhere with the direction you would like to go here? It all makes up one big team. But as I've always liked to say, and Kenny does a great job, he answers to the 5 board members. And he's been there 14 years. He's done it really well. He keeps the peace. He makes sure that everybody's getting along, whether it be, his bosses or even the ones below with the department heads. And if we can stay on one team and that alliance, you can do a lot of good things in city government. We were talking a little bit off the air about Mike Vrabel with the Patriots and how the Titans Titans will regret not having him as the head coach. He was great at carrying out his vision throughout the building up rapport, making sure the culture and morale was good, and that's what you get in Kenny Martin.
All right, I want to ask you about the department heads. Now, is that the city manager's job to choose those, make that selection? If so, do they have to be approved by the Board of Commissioners, or does the Board of Commissioners have to do with department heads? How's that work?
So they're allowed to contact us. Right now I'm dealing with the mayor as far as the State of the City address coming up at the Chamber. And while I mentioned the Chamber, I want to tell you about the Chamber celebration this Friday night, 6 o'clock. We are having our Mardi Gras annual Chamber celebration, so you can check that out on their Facebook page if you want to get a ticket or a table. Also, they have the county mayor at the Chamber tomorrow morning at 9 o'clock. I give you free shout-outs, Mark Hinesley, don't forget about me. But anyway, your question was, do they talk to the department heads? Absolutely. And Kenny is the one that hires the department heads. We've got some long-standing people in those departments. You look at Mike Mullins. He's been the chief for a little more than 1 year, but he grew up in the department. You look at a Rocky Lee. He's been with the Parks Department for quite some time. He's been the Parks Director for quite some time. A fairly new Public Works Director, but has been in the department for a while. You got Mark Folks, new, came to us from other cities. Kenny Martin, full privilege to hire those members, but again, it takes the whole team of connections and trying to find the right fit, and I'm sure those discussions are had with department heads and BOC to make sure that we're assembling a well-oiled machine.
Well, you mentioned earlier that you really haven't started the budget process, but it does seem it's pretty much a common thing that the fiscal year is July through June. It's that way in most of the government that I know, except our federal government. They got so far behind. I think theirs is October through September or something. But most governments have a fiscal year of July through June, and then once you get past January the 1st, the last 6 months of a fiscal year, at least come February, the thoughts turn to the next budget, and there's really a lot of thought, work. Some of it is kind of a routine thing, I think, that you go through. But the budget is a big thing, and there's a lot of attention given to that to fit the needs of the entity that it's for. And so, what do you expect out of that this year? Any big problems looming?
No, I wouldn't say so. I think Kenny Martin has done a good job at this last budget of getting the departments what he feels is necessary. The answer can't be yes to everything. We spend frugally. It's just like a child asking their mom or dad for something. The answer can't be yes to everything. You can't afford it. But, based on his leadership and what he's seen, he knows what is needed. It's chess, what's needed here. Whatever you say yes to here, you have to say no to there. Everybody's got what they need to do their job, and I think he's done a good job at setting those expectations for the next year. Commissioner Mullally mentioned something last night. We've got a lot of things in the pipeline. We've got a new fire station that's going to be done in December or January. We've got a new police station that's going to be done in the fall, late summer. That's a lot of projects. Central pipe widening, interchange, all that. Like, that is a lot of stuff. I've heard that as far as projects are concerned, we're spending more money than we ever have, but that's the cost of doing business. Fortunately enough, we're in a position where we've been very frugal under the direction of Kenny Martin to be able to spend that money on necessary things. So that means in the budget coming up in June that we need to pull back certain budgets within our department. We're comfortable and we're able to do that, understanding that the 30,000-foot view is there's a lot happening in the city that needs to be done. So I think that's a balancing act. But again, that expectation has been set with the department heads of what they can realistically think that they're going to get. But again, it's the department head's job to articulate to the city manager and the board of commissioners when we have these workshops to articulate what they need and why they need it. Then it's up to the BOC to approve or deny. And that's just the way that the process works. It works well. Obviously, there's some discussions that get a little bit deeper than others, but we understand we're all on one big team. We really do.
All right, we got about 2.5 minutes. I'm going to just throw this out here because we've talked and talked about the new intersection or new interstate at Central Pike. The Central Pike is, but there's been some talk about widening Highway 70 up to the school there. Perhaps is anything in the works on that?
I will say, Commissioner Art Giles, the new representative on the board for District 1, is uncovering every stone possible to make sure that gets done. That would be a good question for him, but I know he met with TDOT officials within the last month. That was one of his, I want to get this done. This is a top priority for me when he ran for his campaign. So I wouldn't sleep on that project. Knowing Art and how diligent he is and how passionate he is for that district and those people that voted for him, I think that is one of his top main priorities to get done. And I would venture to say you might see something soon on that, hopefully with as much work as he's pouring into that and the relationship that he's already built with TDOT before he became a commissioner, because he was a commissioner before this recent term. He's got a lot of experience, and he's really good with his connections with trying to make sure that TDOT doesn't ignore Highway 70 and getting that expanded up into the school.
Well, How badly, and we've just got a short answer, how badly is that needed? How heavy is the traffic there to necessitate that?
I would say, since it falls under our purview in the city of Mount Juliet, it's absolutely important. We think it's as important as any other city that wants their road widened. You've seen it during school traffic, school time in the morning and at night. It's a major thoroughfare, so I know that those parents would love that, and I don't think you could minimize the importance to anybody in the city of Mount Juliet. We'll tell you that it's needed, and we want it done yesterday.
Okay.
Obviously, we're going to be patient and cross our T's, dot our I's to make sure it gets done, and hopefully a responsible manner. But that's part of our relationship with TDOT, making sure that we bring that to their attention.
Justin, thanks for being with us this morning. Our time has come and gone. We'll see you in 2 weeks.
Absolutely. Thank you, Coleman.
All right. Justin Beasley, the Information Director for City of Mount Juliet, and our program presented by Vanderbilt Wilson County Hospital. We invite you to stay tuned for more right here on FM 98.9.
Let's see what's happening on the roadways. Thanks to Absolute Kubota High Performance, High Horsepower. 0% financing is still a thing. Now's the best time to save on new Kubota L-Series tractors, rated #1 for durability and owner experience in the U.S. Absolute Kubota, 1506 West Main. Now at traffic, here's Chuck.
Good morning. It's just crawling up through Brentwood right now due to an accident, 65 northbound at OHB. That's why it's slow now between Concord Road and OHB. They're also working a wreck out here. It also kind of looks like police activity attached to this wreck here on 24 East on that ramp to 840 in Rutherford County. Busy. Give yourself extra time this morning. You're going to need some extra time for sure. Hey, when you need dependable towing, make sure you call STR Towing and Recovery. Check out STRTow.com. I'm Commander Chuck with your on-time traffic.
Welcome to Hearthside Senior Living, Lebanon's unique senior living community designed for seniors to age in place, all within a safe, comfortable, and Christian environment. Beautiful retirement homes designed for an independent lifestyle with maintenance-free living. Hearthside Senior Living also continues the excellent tradition of assisted living for those seniors who need additional services. Hearthside Senior Living, an independent retirement community and assisted living community, all on one campus in the heart of Lebanon. Call 615-443-1994 for a tour.
We'll have sunny skies with warmer conditions for today. Highs will be in the middle 50s. Partly cloudy tonight, lows in the upper 30s. And then even warmer for our Wednesday. Partly cloudy skies, highs around 60. This weather forecast brought to you by Walker Auction and Realty, professional auction and real estate services. Get top dollar for your home, land, or personal property. Log on to MikeWalkerAuctions.com. They know auctions. With your severe view forecast, I'm Storm Specialist Drew Richards.
We welcome you to part 2 of Coleman and Company here on a Tuesday. Sean Dozier's right here front and center to talk about Hearthside Senior Living. Good morning.
Well, good morning, Coleman. How are you?
I'm doing well. Good to see you.
Well, it's good to be here. I was thinking what I could talk about this morning, and I got a text last week from a family member, and I wanted to read it. I thought it would make a great commercial.
Okay.
How about that?
I think that'd be wonderful.
This person says, "Good morning. I hope you are warm and safe this morning. This text message is about 3 weeks too late. It's been a crazy 3 weeks, but I should have sent this earlier. I can't thank you enough for the last 2 years at Hearthside. I cannot be happier with the care and love that Mom received while she was there." She says, "I truly believe that Hearthside saved her life. When she came in there, she weighed 79 pounds, and when she left, she was 110. That's incredible. I feel like everybody there became family over the last 2 years. I miss everybody. I hope to see you soon after Mom gets out of rehab." This lady went to memory care. "Wishing you a happy and healthy 2025. So we get texts and we get letters like that all the time. I probably should read more of them when I come in here, but that's an example of a family that chose us, and then her mom stayed 2 years, got healthy. Eventually, she had to go to memory care, but. A lot of people come in when they come to Hearthside. They have lost a lot of weight because they don't eat. They don't eat 3 meals a day. They don't eat very well. They don't cook for themselves. And so when they come to Hearthside, they get 3 meals a day. They get snacks, and their weight comes up. They feel better. They're more active, and they get that socialization in the dining room. And so this is an example of a family that was very happy with our care and with our services. And I just wanted to read that this morning.
Well, I'll tell you what, with with letters, with recommendations, with commendations like that, Hearthside for you is not a hard sale.
It's not a hard sell. We are full right now. We continue to remain full. In fact, we had a lady move in. She's moving in this week. She left 3 years ago during COVID. Her daughter took her to Florida to sit on the beach. When everybody was locking down, she says, I'm out of here. I'm going to Florida. But she's moving back this week, and we're happy to have her back. We get a lot of return customers, Coleman. You know, a lot of folks, after they've had a resident there, a family member there, they bring somebody else there because they have enjoyed the experience so much. We're not a large community, Coleman. You know, we're 44 rooms. We're licensed for 49. So a lot of these communities are so large, you don't really feel like your family. But at Hearthside, we're small enough where everybody knows your name. We know your likes and dislikes. I like to say the dietary folks, they know what you like in your coffee, so it's ready when you come in the dining room in the morning, and that's the way we operate.
Oh, that's really great. And another thing too, we know that that elderly people many times have a problem with their medicine. If they don't have somebody dispensing it for them, they may get mixed up. Did I take this? Didn't I? And sometimes you take it twice when you all
that's
that.
Right.
You don't have that problem at Hearthside.
No, we. When folks come in, I say, give me a week and you'll see a different person because they'll get their medication on time. They'll get the right medication. They'll get 3 meals a day. They'll get their socialization. They'll get their activities. They'll get their exercise. And in a week, your mom or dad will be a new person. And I see that all the time because, you know, they do come in and they've been in rehab or they've been in the hospital and they're weak or they've been at home and they're, you know, they just haven't been around people in a long time. And once they get that socialization, once they get that medication timely, they're a new person. Assisted living is really a place where you don't come to just sit around. You really come to live, and you really have full activities and full services, and you really have a great quality of life during that season of life. So we see it all the time, and medication management is part of the package. You know, we don't upcharge you for that. A lot of communities upcharge you for medication management. We do not. We don't upcharge you for taking meals to the room. We don't upcharge you for housekeeping. We don't upcharge you for Wi-Fi. It's all included in one price. And when they sign that contract, they, which is just a 30-day contract, there's no long-term contract, you get all those services in one price.
You kind of made things simple.
It's simple. And our admissions director, Janet Presley, she does a great job of getting people onboarded, and they feel right at home when they move in.
Well, it's been a little cold.
Been a little cold. We've had our fireplaces on. Our gas logs have been running nonstop, so I guess my gas bill is going to be quite expensive in January. But that's okay. The residents love the gas fireplaces. They love to sit around them, and they love to look at them more than anything, particularly in the dining room.
And you don't have an extra charge for the extra gas?
No, we don't. We don't charge for that. So I'll have to go into debt to pay for the gas bill. But they enjoy watching those, and it's warming up. So this week they'll be outside. You'll see them as you drive by North Castle Heights. You'll see them walking around the building. A lot of them enjoy walking around the building. They love to be outside. The garden will be started soon, so you'll see more of them outside. We have a gazebo that they enjoy being a part of, and not that springtime is here. We've still got February and March to go,
right.
But we're going to enjoy these next few days.
Well, I guess it's time for a Hearthside Hello.
Well, I saw where Billy Goodman's having a birthday this week, so my Hearthside Hello is to Billy Goodman. I see him every morning when I come in here, so I say hello to him, but a special Hearthside Hello to our friend and your coworker, Billy Goodman.
He's a good one.
He's a good one.
All right. Well, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Stay warm, stay safe, and we'll see you next Tuesday.
Thank you, Coleman.
All right. Sean Dozier, Executive Director of Hearthside Senior Living, 215 Castle Heights Avenue North, right here in Lebanon. And if you don't want to go by and see him, you can always call him at 615-443-1994. We are 22 before the hour, and this morning I actually invited the director of the Wilson County Community Health Center, Karen Rudzinski. I have a little problem with that last name. And she, I understand, maybe a little bit under the weather, and she has sent us a replacement this morning. Her name is Jen Oliver. Jen.
Good morning.
It's nice to have you with us today.
Well, I'm happy to be here.
And I think this is your first time on Coleman.
It is. It is. I'm quite excited to be here. My husband was pumped that I was going to be here this morning. I didn't know it was as big of a deal as it was, but he was super excited.
Well, I hope that so far you haven't been disappointed. You you were here on time. You got to sit here and watch us do the commercial for Hearthside with Sean, and now we're ready to go.
It's lots of fun.
Tell us before we get into the Community Help Center. We are going to be talking about the Ducky Derby a little bit this morning. But tell us about you and maybe your husband, if he's involved. Your involvement with the Help Center.
I have been on the board for the Help Center for the last 2 years. About 3 years ago, my husband, Lee Oliver, decided that he and I decided together that I might be more valuable to our community if I was at home. We have a daughter that was entering high school at that point in time, so I had worked for Cumberland Skin for several years. I was their regional practice administrator, turned in my resignation, and I have been wife, mom, and Help Center board member since, and have just really dug in and enjoyed getting to serve our community and see all the things that they're doing that I had no idea actually happened at the Help Center.
Was there something that especially attracted you to it? You could probably got with other organizations if you had so chosen.
I love that they have just a heart for people, and Karen in particular, her willingness to serve our community and wanting better for people just blew me out of the water. So I'm happy to be there, and I've thoroughly enjoyed getting involved in Ducky Derby. This is actually my second year to co-chair Ducky Derby. I co-chaired it last year with Chris Hoffman, and this year Crystal Hawkins and I are chairing it together, so we plan to make it a big one.
This has been going on in some form for quite some time. If my memory is right, when it started, I think they actually threw these ducks in the Cumberland River and got downstream, and whichever one of them got there first was the winner. It was like a race in the water, and you've changed that, and maybe adapted to better over the years, but it's still a Ducky Derby.
It is still a Ducky Derby, and it is still lots of fun. And we're actually going back this year to the Moore's home, to Denise and Lynette Moore's home, which was the first Ducky Derby that was held outside of the Cumberland River, was at the Moore's home. So we're very thankful that they've agreed to open up their home for us again this year.
Well, I guess this is one of your bigger. Is it the biggest fundraiser?
It is the only fundraiser
Okay.
that we do.
All
So outside of our thrift store, which is where we generate an income in order to provide assistance to those in the community, this is our only fundraiser.
Mm-hmm. Do you have a goal? You set a goal of so many dollars that you are hoping to raise each year?
We do, and we're hoping this year we're pushing real close to that $90,000 mark. We've seen it grow exponentially over the last 3 years, kind of after COVID, and we could actually go out and be around people again. I feel like it exploded, and Ducky Derby was one of the first events post-COVID, which was really nice because it was outside. So it was something that people could still do and be around each other and be together. It's not a super expensive event, but it's a very eclectic group of people that come and support the Help Center, and we're very thankful for that.
Well, it seems to me that is, you have really exceeded what it was in the beginning. I'm thinking maybe $15,000 or $20,000 might have been what you raised when you first started, or perhaps even less. I can't remember, but it seemed like it wasn't anywhere near 90.
No, it was not anywhere near 90. And we were even a few years ago not even half of that. So we're doing great, and Karen has implemented lots of new and exciting things, and we have a hat contest now, so the ladies can. I love to see somebody go into the Help Center, buy a hat, find things at the Help Center to add to this hat, and then present themselves. Actually, last year, our first place hat winner was Jessica Davis, who was with Honeybee, Tennessee, but she had thrifted everything that she used to make this gorgeous hat that looked like a beehive. So,
we might tell everybody the dates for this and maybe how you can get a duck.
Absolutely. It is May 3rd. Like I said, it'll be at Denise and Lynette Moore's. Tickets have been sent to print, so they will be available soon on our website. We are doing things just a little bit different this year for anybody that can't attend. We are moving our silent auction online. And we're going to open it up 2 weeks before the event. So those that can't attend, because we know May is a busy time of year between graduations and May's a big wedding month. That gives people an opportunity that can't be there May the 3rd to go online and bid on some of those items. We've got some great live auction items this year. We've got a fair package that'll have some mega tickets. So that'll be something people will want to come get a ticket so they can come bid on it.
Yep. And we didn't, for those who don't know, we got about a minute here before we go to a break. I don't know when this actually started, but it's been around, and I think the Community Help Center is probably as big and doing as many things now, maybe more than ever. I think you started small and you continue to grow.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. One of the biggest things we've seen in the last year is our food distribution, because we provide food assistance, utility assistance, clothing assistance, prescription assistance, insure for the elderly. Our food distribution last year more than doubled what we had done in 2023.
And your location, I guess everything is all there at the same place on, was it East High, the official address?
Yes, sir, that is correct. It's on East High Street, and I'd say people that want to help center, biggest thing we need right now are donations. So when you're cleaning out that closet, bring it by to see us.
Clothes donations especially?
Clothes donations, food donations, furniture, we'll take it all.
Okay. All right, well, time for us to take a break. Jen Oliver is my guest this morning. We can sort of say she is pinch hitting for Karen Rudzinski, but Vice President at Wilson County Help Center. And we'll talk more after this break on Coleman and Company, FM 98.9.
Let's see what's happening on the roadways. Thanks to our friends at Bates Ford and the Works Vehicle Checkup. They'll make sure your vehicle is ready for any road. $59.95 up to 5 quarts oil, tax and disposal, tire rotation, and safety checks. 1780 Franklin Road. Now at traffic, here's Chuck.
Good morning. An earlier wreck jammed it up pretty good trying to get up through Brentwood on 65 northbound at OHB. It was already heavy enough up through there as it is between Concord Road and OHB coming up through Williamson County, Brentwood. They're still finishing up the paperwork on a crash. 24 eastbound, ramp to 840. Heavy traffic trying to get through Hermitage, Donaldson right now. On 40 west, you got all that traffic building in from Wilson County into Davidson County right now, coming westbound on I-40. Prince's Hot Chicken has live entertainment every Wednesday night. Check out the details at princeshotchicken.com. I'm Commander Chuck with your on-time traffic.
Where a patient starts their cancer care matters. And here, that means Vanderbilt Ingram Cancer Center, Wilson County. It's Vanderbilt level care without making the drive to Nashville. From screening to diagnosis to treatment and recovery, patients can get all the care they need right here close to home. So now, having the best care team and most advanced treatment is closer than ever. Vanderbilt Ingram Cancer Center, making cancer care personal.
It's tax time, and Cars Unlimited Tax Service is locally owned and has 33 years of experience in preparing taxes. They do upfront loans of $250 to $6,000. They're also an authorized IRS e-file provider. Call 615-449-2955 or stop by 1006 West Main Street in Lebanon. Cars Unlimited Tax Service stands ready to help you prepare your taxes.
1.5 seconds left, no timeouts. Here's your season. Negron gives it to Bird. Bird for the win! It's good! He did it! College Hoops is back, and so is Cumberland University on the radio. Join me, John Boyce, in the booth for every Mid-South Conference game this regular and postseason for both men's and women's Phoenix basketball. Conference games are every Thursday starting at 5:30 and every Saturday starting at 1 o'clock. Phoenix basketball is right here on 98.9. Cumberland's a winner.
We continue here, our final segment now for Coleman and Company on a Tuesday morning. Jen Oliver is my guest, Vice President of Wilson County Help Center. And I guess we ought to say Wilson County Community Help Center. I think that's the official title.
Yes,
but
sir.
We've been talking about the Ducky Derby. And of course, what your institution is all about. The name pretty much says it. When you say Help Center, you are helping people. And one of the ways you raise some money to do that is just the Ducky Derby that we were talking about, and how that it has gone from a few $1,000s to many more now, and a goal this year. What I think you said 90.
We're close to 90. It's 88-ish.
Well, I don't know how you come with that, but you might as well round it off. But it'd be all right if you could raise $90,000.
I would love to raise $90,000.
How can people find out more? I mean, and listen to us. I know you have the other ways, but you have a website, don't you?
We do. It's wilsoncountyhelpcenter.org.
Information pretty much about your fundraising there.
It is there. We are on Facebook. We're on Instagram. And actually, if you go to our website, we've started a new. We've got some new software that allows us, when we have a donation that comes in, that's something that wouldn't be ordinary, that might not be something you'd find on the shelf for 50 cents. We're able to put it on every Friday. We load new stuff on there. I actually have snagged personally some pieces of china that were donated. So you're not going to pay 50 cents for it, but you might pay $45 for a very nice piece of china. So check out wilsoncountyhelpcenter.org. And like I said, we load new stuff Friday. It's on our auction site there. You bid against people. There's a set amount of time, but you can also find out information about getting your tickets for the Derby, and actually buying duck tickets as well, because we like to give away a little bit of money that night, which incentivizes people to buy those duck tickets.
Yeah. And I don't think we established this when I introduced you this morning, but you actually came to Tennessee by way of Florida. We say that so MJ will perk up her ears.
Yes.
Not exactly the same place in Florida.
No, sir. And I'm not a huge Gators fan, but, you know. But I do like MJ, so. We actually used to be neighbors.
What do you, as a board member and as the vice president, what do you envision in the future? Is the Help Center going to continue to grow, or at least to maybe find additional ways of helping people?
Absolutely. Last year we worked with Vine Branch Fellowship and added a community garden, which has been really nice. A lot of times inexpensive food is not very good for you. And the food that we keep in the pantry, although it is absolutely better than something you're going to get at a fast food restaurant, for instance, it's processed food, it's canned foods. So having this community garden where people can come and participate and get big, fresh grown, juicy tomatoes in the summertime and vegetables, it's been really nice.
You said participate. To what extent and how do they participate?
Well, they can come and volunteer and help if that's an area that they're blessed. I'm not a gardener. I'd love to be a gardener. I'm going to try flowers this year. My husband tilled an area and I planted a bunch of tulips. We'll see how that goes before I start gardening actually food that people will consume. But they can come and they can work in the garden. We have lots of amazing volunteers that come in and help us sort through the donations.
How big a garden do you have?
I don't. It's in the back. I'm not a gardener. I'm sorry,
you
Coleman.
Have quite a number of things that you.
We do. Yes, and we'll be adding to that this year. So.
And all of that is for those who participate.
For those who participate, well, and those that don't, like we'll take the things out of the garden, and there's a shelf in the Help Center usually that has items that have been donated that are things we're giving away. They're not things that you have to pay for. You can come in and
you have a little space behind the building there. Have a garden, however big, with a number of vegetables, including tomatoes and other things that. Then those who would love to come and help, they can, but you don't have to reap the benefits of it being there.
That's right. That's the whole idea of I think that's where you said earlier, community help center. It's all about community, because there's times that I might be able-bodied and able to do something, but a few years down the road, I might be in a situation that I need my community to lean on, and that's what we're all about is.
Well, and you're talking about donations. A lot of people I know donate used clothing and furniture. Isn't that
yes, sir.
Too big, maybe too big items.
Yes, I would say so.
Yeah. and you accept them pretty much all the time. Are there certain hours during the day that's preferred, or
9 to 4 would be preferred. We do. I'm tend to be the person that likes to do it while I'm in town, and I'll drive through, and usually our receivers are great about helping me unload even if I show up there a little bit early, but 9 would be preferred. Gives them time to get in and get things organized. But Karen and Mark, who are the two leaders that we have there at the Help Center, do a great job of going through things, making sure that they work before they go on the shelf. I actually volunteered some during the holidays in the receiving area, and one of the young ladies that was there was telling me I had to go plug something in to make sure it worked before I could price it and put it on the shelf. And I said, well, I think it's cute whether it works or not. She said, well, we don't sell things that don't work. So I appreciate that.
Okay. Well, it's I guess you'd have to almost be there in the receiving line to really appreciate everything that people have to offer, and probably you have to. All of us aren't just alike, and some of us, there might be a little junk that comes in that you have to throw away. But for the most part, I would hope that it's all usable.
It is for the most part, and we have different avenues that we can take stuff and actually clothing items that we can't use, we can recycle, which is still better than taking it to the dump and going to a landfill. So Karen works with groups that do that with the clothing items that we're not able to use and sell, because we don't want to sell something that's not of quality. But different people like different things. I personally have started collecting old books. So the books that are in your basement that you might not think anything of.
You'd love to have books that people are through with, or don't have a need for anymore. Whatever.
Absolutely, yes.
Okay, I've probably got a few of them. I hadn't even thought about that. But
interior designers love books now, so.
And there's that old saying too. I've got a lot of them, but one man's junk is another man's treasure.
Yes, sir.
And that is so true with what you're doing, especially in some of these things.
Yes, sir.
So if you think it has any value, put it out on the shelf. If it sells, fine. If it doesn't, then you can throw it away.
That's right. Hey, we got Half Price Saturday coming up this Saturday, so definitely go stop by the Help Center the first.
How often do you have something? Is that a regular thing?
We do it about once a month.
Oh, okay.
So it's coming up this Saturday. We'll have those shelves stocked as full as we can get them, and it'll be a mad dash when we open at 9 o'clock. So.
Well, I think you've kind of come known for some of those bargains, and especially if it's a half price time. Everybody wants a bargain.
Yes, sir.
And some people just love to shop for whatever. I am not one of those, but I know some that are. and thankfully they are what they are, because that helps you get rid of some things too. But it's all designed to produce some money to help people who are in need. And you mentioned this earlier. I mean, you expressed it a lot better than I can, but I mean, even people with utility bills, maybe medical bills, people get in between the rock and the hard place, and that's at least part of what the Community Help Center is for. But at the same time, it's a nice little retail outlet, isn't it?
It is. I find it quite fun to go in there and see what I can find. And Karen does little segments that if you follow us on Facebook, you can watch her videos. Karen is the queen thrifter, and she finds things and she puts them in her home, and it looks like something you would find in Southern Living, but it's all come from the Help Center. So.
Well, if you joined us late, Jen Oliver is my guest this morning. She's Vice President of Wilson County Community Help Center. We got about 2 minutes left here, so let's go back to what we were talking about in the beginning. You have announced the date for the Ducky Derby, and it's a fundraiser. And most people do this online now.
A lot of people are doing it online, but they can still come into the Help Center and get tickets if they want to. They can talk to any one of our board members. We'll have tickets that they can sell. But yes, online is probably the most popular
And then you're going to have the big party and the celebration.
The big party and celebration, May the 3rd. It'll be at Denise and Lynette Moore's home on Lebanon Road, which we're super excited to be back there again because that was our first Ducky Derby outside of throwing the ducks in the river. And we're back at their home this year. They've been very generous to open that up to us. We have Double Take Band is playing. They're providing our live entertainment. And we have I'm hearing a very special duck plucker this year, Mr. Colton Dowell from the Tennessee Titans, who's a local hero.
You haven't left any stones unturned, it sounds. Yeah, this one perhaps going to be the biggest and best ever.
That is the plan.
Yeah?
That is the plan.
All right. Well, one more time. Now, you can buy, and it doesn't. What's a duck cost?
A duck is $10.
Still $10.
And a chance to win $2,000. Right. So.
And that will all be determined on that Saturday night.
Yes, sir.
And then tickets for it.
Tickets for it are $100. They can be purchased online. You do not have to be present to win, though. If you want to buy ducks and you are going to be out of town or have a graduation that day and won't be able to be with us, you buy your duck ticket, and if your duck is plucked, we will call you and let you know.
All right. Well, all of this information would be on your website, I take it.
Yes, sir.
Just about everything we've talked about this morning. And so if you missed any of it, you could go there. Well, Jen, it's really nice to meet you and to have you as my guest this morning. You've done a good job sitting in for Karen and hope she'll be back. And I'm sure she will in a day or two, but she just was a little under the weather this morning.
Yes, we hope she bounces back quickly.
Well, she can send you anytime, and it'll be great.
Thank
you so much.
Thank you.
And that's going to do it for a Tuesday. Join us tomorrow for Coleman and Company. Till then, I wish you a terrific day.